The way I envisioned doing the knockout stages for the World Cup was wait until the final group games, publish a video detailing the selections I have for the round of 16. But then I came to the realization on my lunch break at work today that that's not the most practical way to go about this. By the time the final teams have qualified from Group G, and I've recorded, uploaded a video, and people have had the chance to watch it, there'd really only be about an 8-hour window for people to see the video, copy the bets if they would like to, before that information was, frankly, a little bit useless. So now we know half of the teams that have got through to the round of 16. I'm doing a video for part 1 of the round of 16. And then by the time we get to the end of the final group games in G, I'll do a second video, which will be the other 8 teams that are in the round of 16, and see if I fancy any of those bets. So as you can see, from the 29th and 30th of November, we went 50-50. The United States of America did beat Iran in their match, and we picked up £14. But unfortunately, Denmark did not beat Australia. In fact, Australia qualified through to the next round and will face Argentina, which will be an interesting matchup for sure. Is my PC up to date? Yes, it is. Go away. And then, of course, we have the Croatia-Belgium game. We're going to be laying Belgium in that particular encounter. So without further ado, I only have 2 selections for the for this video, so it's going to be a bit of a short one, but let's just jump into it. Our first of 2 selections sees 8th ranked Holland play 16th ranked United States of America. And Holland got through one of the easier groups of the tournament in Group A. They won 2, drew 1, and didn't lose at all. They outscored their opponents by 5-1. Now, this sounds a lot more impressive than what the eye test may indicate. I wasn't incredibly thrilled by Holland's slow build-up play and figured that they not got lucky, but they really kind of only made the last 10 minutes of the games count. However, Holland have been able to grind out those results, which is a valuable skill in a knockout format, so maybe I shouldn't be too harsh on them here. Statistically, Holland are averaging 1.7 goals per game, which outperforms their 1.3 key chances per 90, and really, really outperforms their XG of 0.79. Defense, okay, that's pretty good. They've conceded 1 goal in their 3 games with 2 clean sheets. And as the stats indicate, we're kind of seeing the Dutch are involved in pretty low-scoring affairs with little chances being created, and what low-quality chances are created are converted by the Dutch. In fact, when we look at their recent games, Holland have had under 2.5 goals in each of their last 5 competitive outings. And their opposition today is the United States of America, who emerged 2nd place in Group B, managing to remain undefeated in that time with 1 win, 2 draws, and 0 defeats. The Yanks scored 0.7 goals per game, which drastically underperformed their 1.7 key chances created and slightly underperforms their 0.86 expected goals. Defense has been okay, with 2 clean sheets in their 3 games and only conceding the 1 goal for 0.3 goals against per 90. And the United States are also involved in quite a lot of low-scoring affairs. When we look at the under 2.5 goals market, they have had this result come in each of their last 6 competitive games. So what we're seeing here is a Dutch side that are overperforming their XG and playing pretty drab football against a United States team who have played better than what a lot of neutrals would have expected, who are slightly underperforming their XG as well. Both sides struggle to score goals, and I think that today will be no different. Under 2.5 goals is set at about 7/10, and I think this is the way to go in our first selection. Our second and final selection for today's episode sees 5th ranked England playing 18th ranked Senegal. And England came through top of Group B with 2 wins, 1 draw, and 0 defeats. Despite Southgate getting some heat for the way in which England set out and play against the United States in match day 2, it's been pretty plain sailing for the 3 Lions. England has scored an impressive 3 goals per game from 2.7 key chances created. They are quite drastically outperforming their expected goals of 1.78. Defensively, we're looking pretty good. 2 clean sheets in their 3 games and conceding 0.7 goals per 90. England appear to have drawn the line under their poor form from the Nations League campaign and seem to have found their feet again. Or at least it appears that way for the moment. The opposition Senegal came through runners-up of Group B with 2 wins, 0 draws and 1 defeat for 6 points, and seeing them pip Ecuador at the post for qualification in the final game of the group. This does mean that we did pick up a nice win in our pre-World Cup prediction, picture on screen right now, as we did project that Senegal would qualify from Group A. The Senegalese average 1.7 goals per game from exactly 1.7 key chances created. It's slightly overperforming their XG of 1.26, and defence, well, it's been less than ideal. No clean sheet in their games, and that does include matches against Qatar and Ecuador as well as Holland, and they are averaging 1.3 goals per game against. England are about 1-2 and expected to win here. When we look at the recent history for England, when they're priced at 1-2, they're expected to win roughly 65% of the time. In actuality, England emerge victorious almost 80% of games where they are priced at 1-2. England to win in a single, for me, will wrap up today's episode.